All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Truth Seeking Network. So today, you see on my screen, right? So today we're going to talk about Bitcoin versus gold versus the S&P 500. Okay. And so starting this out, I want to show you a video. I'm going to show this is a video that I did 11 months ago. You can see my cursor right here, right? Only got 19 views on it, but I guess things that pick up later on. But anyway, 11 months ago, I want you to see, look at the price of Bitcoin 11 months ago, y'all. See this? $16,000. 16,860. You might not ever see Bitcoin at that price again. But during that time, I did many videos on Bitcoin. And, you know, people like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett, Dave Ramsey, Jim Cramer. I mean, all these so-called whatever called gurus of investment. Um, they were telling you Bitcoin. They, what's that? Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett said Bitcoin is rat poison. Jim Cramer was said sell, sell, sell. And as soon as he said sell, as I stated in one of my videos, Bitcoin took off. It went up. But look at the price you could have bought Bitcoin at right here. You could have got it at $16,000. And it went low. It went as low as 15,000 or something. And I was telling people back then to buy. Ethereum was 1,270. And I think it even went a little bit lower than that. But you could have got Bitcoin at those prices. You probably never will see Bitcoin at $16,000 again. And I'm going to show you in this video, you know, the difference between the S&P 500, a dollar invested or $100 invested in 2009. What would it look like today? Or close to today's prices, because you know Bitcoin is constantly moving, so it's kind of hard to get a direct, but you could get the gist. It's hard to get a direct price, but you can get the gist of what I'm showing you. Okay, so I just want to I'm gonna switch a little. I'm gonna switch things around now. I'm gonna start talking more about investments and money in crypto, because when it comes to investments, everybody can invest. You don't have to have $16,000 to buy an entire Bitcoin. Bitcoin is scarce. Bitcoin is only going to be 21 million made. And I think that like 4 to 5 million are already lost. And so the big players like Michael Saylor and some of these big companies out here, BlackRock and there's ARK Investment, Kathy Woods, all of them, these people Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, they're trying to get ETFs. And if Bitcoin going into an ETF, it'll make it easier for everybody else to buy, and institutional investors to buy Bitcoin as well, so they can put on their balance sheets. And then you, as an investor, can buy the ETF. Okay, but that's going to be billions, maybe trillions of dollars flowing into Bitcoin. So what would the price of Bitcoin be? All right. So I just don't want y'all to be left out. Don't be fooled by mainstream media. You can see now, I'm going to show you today's price in Bitcoin later on in the video. What Bitcoin is trading at today. Today is November the 9th, 2023. 11 months ago, you could have got it for this price. 16,860 bucks, or around 16,000, around that range. Ethereum, you could have got it for 1,200. I'm going to show you where that's at now. Okay. So just stay tuned, and I'm going to get to these Bitcoin calculators. And I just want to show you a few things. Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. And right now, it's one of the rarest investments out there. So I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just trying to get my viewers to understand, to buy some Bitcoin and get some of these cryptos today, because if Bitcoin goes to 500,000, 750,000, a million, $10 million per coin, and you had a chance to get it or buy a piece of or parts of it at this price, you can buy a tenth of a Bitcoin. You could put $50 and start dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. You can do $50 a month, $100 a month, $200 a month, $300 a month, whatever you choose. But do so before it's too late. Do so before all the big players buy up all the Bitcoin. You have an opportunity. Okay? You can go to Coinbase. You can't go to Binance US anymore because it does not allow US investors to buy. All right. So I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. I'm just going to play this little clip.
Bitcoin, and whether you thought it was a good idea, given that the Labor Department thought it was a terrible idea. At the time, you thought and said it was a very good idea. Bitcoin at the time was trading at $28,406. So if you were an owner of Bitcoin that day, you had $28,406. Today, you have $16,832. Do you stand by what you said on June 11th?
Absolutely. Do you know how many Bitcoin FTX had when it declared bankruptcy on Friday? Zero. None. Bitcoin is unique among cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is a commodity. The other currencies with which FTX was operating, especially their own proprietary FTT, this is clearly a security. This should have fallen under the SEC. This should be where consumer protections and disclosure laws apply. This was a murky company with 130 or more affiliated companies, a very complicated situation where customer assets were allowed to be commingled with other assets. And because of that, customers lost their money. So you're dealing with actually two different entities, commodities, which is Bitcoin, and securities, which is almost every other cryptocurrency out there.
I think Andrew was making a point that luckily you weren't invested in Meta or Netflix, and you had actually more after the Bitcoin. Was that the point you made? You had more than most stocks, or still left, or that wasn't the point? That wasn't the point, because the truth is, and I know you're trying to make a point. Everything moves around. Senator, I think the larger point, though, Senator, is actually, first of all, most people with their 401k plans are typically only allowed to be invested in mutual funds. Let's start there. And then separately, Senator, if the point of Bitcoin is to be a, quote, store of value, by default, I think we can agree that $28,000 becoming $16,000 is hardly a store of value.
This is the wrong term. No one has ever said that Bitcoin is something that you should day trade. And it is not like a stock. It's a commodity. It's going to have a long-term value. Gold's value over the millennium have gone up and down. That may be the case with Bitcoin as well. So I still think it's a great store of value. You understand? There are.
All right, so y'all see that, right? So, and during this time, man, everybody was trying to go against Bitcoin and try to say how bad it was. They were trying to scare everybody, and they did a good job. They scared a lot of people out of their positions. A lot of people who just got into Bitcoin, they got scared to death. They might have bought at the highs at 50, 60,000, and you see it in this video at $16,000. So that scared a lot of new people out of the crypto. But if anybody know investing in Wall Street, this is how Wall Street works. They call you weak hands. They try to shake out the weak hands, and they try to get people to sell. As you sell, they bought you bought high. So now they bought your Bitcoin for cheap because you sold out. You got scared and sold out. And like she said, Bitcoin is a long-term investment. So if you did it for the long run, you would be okay. And so I just wanted to show y'all that real quick, okay, before we get into these calculators, right? because then you're gonna be able to see how much of $100 invested in 2009 would be today versus the S&P 500 versus gold. Okay, so we're about to get into that real quick. All right, y'all. So what I'm first going to do is go over here to this real quick to this the S&P 500. So you see I put a date in, right? So up at the top part, I put $100 right here, and then the start date 2009 and end year 2023. So we're going to calculate to see how much money you would have made if you invested $100 in the S&P 500 in 2009 till today. What would it be? Let's calculate. There he goes. So if you invested $100 in the S&P 500 at the beginning of 2009, you would have about $677.95 at the end of the 2023, assuming you reinvested all the dividends. This is a return on investment of 577.9%, 95%, or a 14.11 cent per year. So you gain about 14% a year, which is not bad, right? So again, $100. If you invested $100 in 2009, that would be worth $677.95. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go to gold and see how much you would have, okay? Let's check out gold. So I'm going to show you something with the gold. So here's gold, right? And I want to show you this calculator. 2009 gold price in today's dollars, right? So the average price in 2009 of gold was, the average price of pounds was $973.66 per troy ounce. That was in 2009, right? Now, this is equivalent to 1,374 today in 2023 dollars. So that's because of the inflation rate. So that's what it would be worth today. But however, do you know the price of gold today? Do y'all know? So if you look at it, in 2009, you could have got 1 troy ounce of gold. Now remember, when I did the big, I did $1 in the S&P 500. No, I did $100 in the S&P 500. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back. Let's just change this to $1,000 for each one, okay, to make it more equivalent. So I'm gonna go back to the S&P calculator, and I'm gonna put $1,000 invested instead, since this would be like a 1 ounce or $1,000 invested in the gold. But today's gold price is $1,966 as of today's date. It might fluctuate, but because the market is still open. But I want to show you that that's only $1,000, y'all. So if you invested in gold $1,000 in 2009 at the average price of gold of $973.66, today's price in gold is about $1,900, $1,966. So you basically gain $1,000 for that $1,000 investment in gold. So let's just call it $1,000 you got. Maybe a little more, a little less, but you gained pretty much $1,000 for $1,000 investment in gold in 2009. Okay. Now let's go back to the S&P calculator, and I'm gonna do I'm gonna put $1,000 in the S&P again and do that all over, so we can see what that amount would be. So we're back at the S&P 500 and calculator. So we're gonna put the year 2009, and we're gonna make this $1,000 instead. So that way, 1,000 in gold. You saw what 1,000 in gold would be, right? In 2009, the average price was $973, and basically today's price in gold is about $1,900, $1,966, around that range. So you pretty much, if you invested $1,000, I mean, or $900 or $1,000 into gold, you pretty much gain $1,000, and that's since 2009. Okay. Now let's calculate the S&P 500, $1,000 invested in it, and see what we get. All right. If you had invested 1,000 in the S&P 500 at the beginning of 2009, you would have about $6,779.48 at the end of 2023, assuming you were invested all the dividends. So your return would still be a 14% return. That's not bad, right? You put 1,000 in. There's a lot of time in between there, but you put $1,000 in, and all of a sudden you open your eyes today and you look at that account, and when you say, wow, that's 600, so you gain basically $577,779.48. That's not bad, right? Not bad at all. But you see, gold so far, it's not giving you any dividends. So basically, you got $1,000. So far, the S&P 500, the stock market is actually beating the gold. All right. So now we're gonna go to Bitcoin. At the same, we're gonna put $1,000 into Bitcoin in 2009 and see what that looks like compared to the gold and the S&P 500. Let's check this out. All right, y'all. So you see the title. If you invested $1,000 in Bitcoin when it launched, here's how much you would have to now, right? So I'm gonna skip down, and you see in 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto founded the cryptocurrency Bitcoin, or BTC. Here's a look back at the synonymous creator and the price history of the leading cryptocurrencies. Now, think about this, y'all. So then Satoshi Nakamoto, I don't think it's this one person. I think it was just a name, a fictitious name that they came up with. I think it's a group of people, because I can't see just one person doing it, but that's my opinion. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna slide down the page real quick and get to this little article right here. Right here. So here we are. Start right here. So $1,000 in Bitcoin at the time of the first transaction on PayPal would have netted, I can't even, that's I guess that's 1,111,111,000. No, I said that wrong. Okay, let's get this right. It's 1,111,101.11 Bitcoin. Even though that amount of cryptocurrency probably wouldn't have been available due to the time and money constraints, that $1,000 investment would be worth, check this out, y'all, I think that's 31,247,366,635.40 today, based on a price of 28,122. And this was October. Bitcoin price was $28,000. So at the time of me doing this video, I'm going to show you the price of Bitcoin today. Today's price is the 9th of November 2023. So I'm going to show you the price of Bitcoin later on at the end of this video, okay? But let's keep reading this. In contrast, $1,000 invested in Bitcoin at the time of the Bitcoin pre-seed transaction, you have netted how many BTC? You would have got 243,902 Bitcoins, 0.44 Bitcoins. That investment would be worth a staggering, I think that's 6,859,000. No, 6,859,178,076.22 today, based on the same price of $28,122.63. So, as you see, Bitcoin has crushed the S&P 500. Bitcoin has demolished gold. If you would have bought, let's look at this. So let's go. I'm gonna do $1,000 invested in let's do $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2013. Okay, let's check that out. So let's go back to Google. Okay, let's try 2013. Invested in Bitcoin in 2013. Okay. Wow. Based on the value of one Bitcoin. See, look, this is old. One Bitcoin worth, see, look at, check this out. Based on the value, one Bitcoin would be worth a little over 16,500, and 1.6 Bitcoins would be worth 26,400. This estimate does not, so you got to think about this. How much would have, if I invested $1,000 in Bitcoin in 2013 be worth today? Be worth today. Let's check this out, y'all. See, they don't even really have up-to-date articles. If you invest $1,000, you're gonna see how much it would be. Check this one out. Wow. So here it goes right here. That means a relatively small investment of $1,000 back then would be worth $168,000 today. Good luck to finding a better performing asset than that. And I totally agree. And what was this article written? Let's see. Okay, it's November the 3rd, 2023. Good. So if you invested $1,000 in 2013, your $1,000 will be worth $168,000. This is as of November the 3rd. And now that amount is even higher today. So that just shows you the power and the investment power of Bitcoin. And so, like I said, I'm not a financial advisor, but Bitcoin is the best investment. And right now, you'll be kicking yourself if you don't buy any Bitcoin today. You'll be kicking yourself. Right now, everybody has $50, $100, $300, and you can dollar cost average into Bitcoin today and buy some Satoshis today. Each Bitcoin is programmed to equal 100 million Satoshis. So each fraction of Bitcoin is priced in Satoshi. They call it Satoshis. And each one is worth, so let's just say a Satoshi goes to $1 and the value of $1. That means each Bitcoin really is $100 million. And right now, you don't have to buy a full Bitcoin. You can buy pieces of this Bitcoin. And if you do, consider yourself lucky, because the majority of people out here do not have Bitcoin. Now think about it. Only 21 million will ever be made. It's the scarcest asset out there. And you know, rich people like things that are scarce and rare. That's why they are buying up the Bitcoin. You have an opportunity right now to buy Bitcoin before it's too late, before all the institutional investors and all the rich people buy it out. You have an opportunity right now to buy. But the time is getting short. Do not FOMO in and wait till Bitcoin start going up past 100,000 before you start asking your friends and family how to get in. This might be one of the last opportunities you can get into crypto or Bitcoin, especially before it goes parabolic. All right? The time is now. And you have an opportunity to get in. All right, y'all. So now I want y'all to see Bitcoin today. And you see the top price right here, right? I want to get Bitcoin price, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put Bitcoin up here. Bitcoin. I'm going to add Bitcoin. USD. Okay. Okay, done. Now, see right here? At the time of this recording, today is November the 9th again, and the price of Bitcoin is 36,352. It's moving $36,000 basically right now. And you see Ethereum is 2,000, over 2,000. Remember, 11 months ago, it was 1,270 bucks for Ethereum. So as you can see, Bitcoin has outperformed Charlie Munger. Bitcoin has outperformed Jim Cramer. Bitcoin has outperformed Warren Buffett. And Bitcoin has outperformed gold. Bitcoin has outperformed Dave Ramsey. Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P 500. All right. So again, you can get small slices of Bitcoin at any time. But right now, if Bitcoin could be priced at $100 million, then what is $36,000, people? And again, you don't have to buy a full amount. But just get 50, 100, $200 worth dollar cost average into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you'll do fine. All right. This is the Truth Seeker Network. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just giving some sound advice before it's too late. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'm out.